Hey YouTube, A Mays here, back again with another video. Welcome to our channel and thank you for watching. Alright y'all, we got another good discussion today. I'm glad that you're here. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So what I wanted to talk to you about today was, if at any time throughout your journey you're struggling with the law of attraction, if ever you feel like your manifestations are not coming, if they're taking longer than you want them to, or anything in that realm of belief, I have some tips for you and some advice, okay? I have a lot of information that I looked up. I'm a little overwhelmed, to be honest with you. I really don't know where to start with you guys, so you'll have to excuse me if I sound a little, I don't know how to describe it. Just my information is not as organized as I want it to be, but I'm going to make this message as clear as I can possibly make it to you guys, okay? So we're going to start with number one. The key, first of all, the key to manifesting anything is belief, and belief is knowing, okay? And we all know that. But again, we have times when we might struggle with that. Usually it's because we've made a mistake of some sort. Let me give you an example. Like, say you struggle with your temper, you're quick-tempered, and you want to go against that because you're the God in you, the inner self, your inner being is not that person. You're trying to become who you really are, which is a calm, peaceful, loving person. But your human experience, in your human experience, you are here as someone that is always angry and gets mad over things that can be easily resolved. Okay, so if that is you, that's just one example I'm just giving so you can understand what I mean. Say you went to the store, you cussed somebody out. Now you mad at yourself because you think that you ruined your manifestation. Actually, you haven't, okay? Because the universe responds to your most dominant feeling. So if you were angry and you are working on becoming who you really are, forgive yourself for that and move on, because the signal that the universe will go off of is your most dominant one. So don't spend too much time on that and forgive yourself. Move on. Don't say to yourself, man, I really messed up. Just know that you did and move on. Do breathing treatments, work on calming yourself, and from that moment forward and on to the other days, continue on with your affirmations. If you need more rituals, watch YouTube videos or ask people that you know, if you know anybody who can help you, about other things that you can do to strengthen your belief and faith in yourself. But don't spend any more time on it, and please do not think about, oh, it messed me up. It didn't. Because if you sit there and think about, oh, it messed me up, all you're doing is feeding it. Okay, you don't want to feed that. Remember, guys, the thing that you don't want is what you don't feed. So forgive yourself immediately when you make a mistake. And don't worry about someone else's judgment. Okay? So, with that being said, staying grounded is what you want to do. And being grounded means, I believe you all know what that means. That means you have that sense of freedom. Okay? Despite any mistakes you may have made along the way, you still have complete faith, okay? You have so much faith that you can make decisions that won't make sense to the outside world. For example, your last paycheck. If you go out and buy a bed with your last paycheck because you manifested a house, that's being grounded, because you're putting faith into the belief that this house is coming to me. And I know it is. So that's why I'm going to buy this bed. Acting as if you already have it. If you want to do something to a smaller degree, that's fine. But the point is, you behave and prepare for things as if you already have it. Because that is showing God that you believe in His grace and His mercy and His ability to grant you the thing that you are manifesting. Okay? You always go to God in full confidence. You can't go to God and beg, and you can't go to God in fear, because you'll get back fear. But if you go to God in full confidence and know and believe that He will grant it for you, you will get it, okay? Because again, why ask if you're afraid it won't happen? And that's what I used to do. That's why I believe I had an awakening because despite the fact that I prayed all the time, I still worried, but I still prayed. So it was conflicting, right? And I believe that, well, I know, I don't believe, because like I told you guys, I don't use the word believe anymore. I know that the thing that happened to me at my job at Amazon, go back and watch the video. It's called, How Do You Know If You Had a Spiritual Awakening? And I explained the whole thing. I know that happened to me because of my conflicting beliefs and behaviors. My behavior was prayer every night at the same time. Always. I didn't go a night without praying. But my feelings were of fear. So with those two things, I believe the universe sent to me messages from my guardian angels. 444 every single day. 4 a.m. Every time I watched the clock once when I worked at Amazon, because I worked a 12-hour shift. I looked at the clock once because I didn't want to keep looking at the clock during such a long shift. And every time I looked at the clock for 2 months straight, the last 2 months I worked there for 2 months straight, never missed a day. It always said 444. Those were my angel guides trying to contact me. Coupled with what was in my head the whole time, which like I explained in the other video was negativity. So that sent a message I was sending and didn't realize it, because we all send out vibrations to the universe and we don't know. Sometimes we don't know. And I was sending out a message of confliction. So the angel guides were basically saying, well, look, let's give you some direction. Okay. Now I have direction. So it's my responsibility. There is a law. There are hundreds and hundreds of universal laws I'm coming to learn, and I'm going to learn more of them and share them with you. So far, I've learned of 50. And then you have, I don't know, which one should I read to y'all first, 38 or 25? Okay, we're going to start with number 38, which is the law of self-destruction. And this is how it makes sense for my number one tip, to stay grounded, okay? See, let me just say this. God wants us to be prepared. He wants us to be ready. He wants to make sure you're ready for your manifestation. Because as we all know, to whom much is given, much is expected, right? So if he's going to give you a lot, he expects you to be able to endure a lot. And there are things unknown that you will face. So he wants you to use what you have in front of you as your sounding board, your practice, like they do in baseball. They swing with 2 bats at practice. This is what you're going to do with your situation today. There's the law of 38 is the law of self-destruction, okay, which says total success is self-destruction. Without challenge, you will stagnate. Stagnation will cause destruction because energy must always move. So in other words, if you get to a pinnacle in life where there's nothing else to challenge you, there's nothing else to climb, then you're going to just fail. It's like going up a hill. I got to the top of the hill, but I can't stop at the top of the hill because I'm energy. I got to keep going. So if you all the way at the top, the only thing you're going to do is come down. Right? So with that being said, if you're struggling with manifestation, look at it as a blessing. It's such a paradoxical thing. Look at it as a blessing because that's an opportunity for you to overcome that. And that in itself will not only raise your vibration, you are sending a signal to the universe that you are preparing for the manifestation because you are overcoming your struggles and you're demonstrating faith. See, you can't fool God. You can't fool God. He knows how you feel. He knows what you think. He knows it all. But he is waiting for you to get ready for him. He can do anything. Change your life overnight like that. But he's waiting for you to make choices. He's waiting for you. So with that being said, when I read the law of self-destruction, that is to remind you that if you're struggling and you have challenges, that's part of life. And it's a blessing because the minute that you have no more challenges, that's when you self-destruct. Now, I learned this from a YouTube video that I watched, okay? It's called The 50 Laws of the Universe. It's the 50 Laws. If you type that in the search in YouTube, you'll see what I mean. They got several different thumbnails. One is of a book. One has got people on it walking on the beach, but it's several videos of the same person's voice. And you can go and check that video out. And it'll tell you all the 50 laws or whatnot. And number 38 is talking about that. So what I'm telling you is to look at your struggles as a blessing. Because that means you're nowhere near self-destruction. You're on your way to something great. Okay? But even when you get to that place that you're trying to get to, you're still going to have another set of struggles. Okay? You see how paradoxical it is? Because even when you make it to where you want, there's still going to be stuff you still want. And then when you overcome that, there'll be stuff that you want. And when you overcome that, and so on and so forth. See? I mentioned before in another video I did, I went to Atlanta with my husband. I met this man, who worked at this job I had down there for a brief time. And he said that. He was an older guy, very wise. I told him, I said, I'm tired of struggling. Me and my husband, we tired of struggling. He said, you're going to spend your whole life struggling. And I was young. I was in my mid-20s. I was thinking to myself, I'm not struggling my whole life. But he meant something deeper than just money. Okay? He's right. You spend your entire life struggling. But don't view it as a struggle. Again, perception is your reality. So don't view it as a struggle. Call it a challenge. And a challenge is a blessing. Just like if you play a video game. It's fun because it's challenging you. So let life be the same. If there's nothing to overcome, you don't have any mental stimulation, then your life gets boring. And then that's when you wander off to do unhealthy things because you need excitement. You need some triumph. That's what life is about. People spend years trying to figure out what the meaning of life is. I mean, at least in the human experience, the meaning of life is to overcome challenges. The video I just talked about, where they talked about the 50 laws, he also went on to say that everything you do echoes into eternity. And nothing is lost or forgotten. It may not happen or come back to you in this life, but it'll come back in another life. Okay? So anything you're struggling with could be the result of something you did in a past life. And to balance out your harmony, you take punishments or whatever you want to perceive them as, challenges. If something bad happens to you or somebody betrays you, if you graciously accept it without retaliation, you'll balance out your harmony and you'll harmonize your karma. That's what they said. That's what it's all about. When you receive your karma, just accept it graciously. And the next time you feel you're betrayed by someone, just accept it graciously, because you will balance out your karma that way and you'll get closer to your manifestation. All right. The more you do that in this life, the easier your next life will be. And not only that, situations in your current life will be easier. That's how you manifest. By taking things graciously. I kind of got off the subject a little bit because I wanted to talk to y'all. See, I told y'all. I told y'all this was going to be heavy because I have so much information to give y'all. So it might be a little unorganized. So I'm going to bring it together as best I can. So we got that part down. So harmonize your karma by graciously taking things in. Okay? If you feel betrayed by somebody, just take it, basically. Just take it. Don't try to retaliate. Don't go cuss them out. Let God handle it. All right? And also living in the moment. Living in the moment, because us awakened souls, we live for experiences more so than things. A lot of us. We want things, trust me, but living for moment. We understand how precious moments are. If you are a parent, whatever age your child is, make the most of the years that you have with them now. Because even you can attest to the fact that, ooh, I miss them days. When they was like this. And, oh, my baby was so cute. I can't remember. The time flies, y'all. So, let that be a challenge. Let that be a challenge for you. Because, again, the challenges are the blessing. If you struggle with living in the moment, allow that to be what's going to make you grounded. You covering a lot of things when you do that. It's like killing a lot of birds with one stone. Okay, 3 things I can think of off the top of the head. Number one, you are grounding yourself. You're grounding yourself by fighting against the discomfort you feel. Well, you're not fighting against it, but you are rectifying it. That's how you become grounded. It's like I mentioned the example of practicing with two bats. If you have daily agitations, if you struggle with patience or anything like that, or if you say I'm a great parent, I'm a fabulous parent, but no matter how good of a parent you are, you can always be better. Think of things that you don't normally do with your children that you could find time in the day to do. I'm just giving examples. If you're an employee at work, but you don't normally go above and beyond, do it. Try it. Do something at work that you wouldn't normally do. And don't do it in front of people so they can know. Because this journey, now that you're awakened, isn't about the people. It's about your spirituality. God is rewarding you for what you do. You working for God now. You're not working for that corporation and that job. You only there until you can fulfill your purpose full time. If you haven't found your purpose yet, you will. Trust me, because all awakened souls know their purpose, or if they don't know it yet, they will. That's why you were awakened in the first place, because God got a plan for you. It's things he wants you to carry out. So that's why he awakened you. So if you're not able to carry that out yet, or he hasn't expressed to you yet, he will. You just got to know it. But in any case, in preparation for it, those are things that you can do. Things that are of high standing that you don't normally do. Because remember, we're trying to become one with our inner self. And that's a way to do it. So let me see. So we talked about staying grounded. Yes. And reasons why. Yeah, I talked about the law of destruction. Okay. So yeah, you want to keep moving. And moving is being challenged and overcoming those challenges. All right. Now, let's talk about dissonance. Now, number 25, dissonance, sometimes called the law of self-delusion. Let me just read to you what it says. It says mental discomfort when you hold conflicting beliefs or when your actions are not in accord with your beliefs. You will continue to discomfort unless you change either your beliefs or your behaviors. Okay, so let me just clear that up a little bit. All that means is you doing something that you know is wrong. That's all that means. And that's where free will comes in. You got a choice. You could either change your belief or change your behavior. And if you're an awakened spirit and you want to get in touch with your inner self, it just depends on which one is right or wrong. Is your beliefs wrong or are your behaviors wrong? Okay. The video gave an example of, the video said, for example, if you want to be a more patient parent, right? If you feel like you're an impatient parent, okay? And you snap at your kid, well, no, it said if you want to be, okay, you want to be an impatient parent. You want to be more patient with your kids, okay? But you snap at your kids all the time. Okay, and you feeling bad. So what are you going to do? Either you're going to stop snapping at the kids, or you're just going to say, oh, well, it's okay, or you're going to justify snapping at the kids. That's the example they gave. Oh, and another example they gave was if you smoke all the time, but you believe that smoking will cause you cancer and it's not good for you, but you keep doing it. You ain't going to be able to feel comfortable every day. You'll always have this discomfort in your gut. So what you'll do is you're either going to stop smoking or you'll just rectify or you'll just justify smoking. Oh, it ain't nothing wrong with smoking. You'll keep doing it. So you see what I mean? That's where free will comes in. So if you're struggling with manifestation, you have to ask yourself, well, what things, am I doing things in my life that violate my core beliefs? And when I say your core beliefs, I'm talking about the beliefs that your inner self has, your higher self. Because that's usually a reason why people struggle with manifestation, because they're doing things that their inner self is against, your higher self, who you really are. So with that being said, do some exploring and ask yourself, what behaviors can I change that my higher self disagrees with? Even if it's hard to change it, it takes 21 days to change a habit. My husband said that that's biblical. I was going to look that up and find it. I couldn't find it. But I'm sure he's right. He knows what he's talking about. He's a bright fella. But yeah. But yeah, so 21 days. Do affirmations to help your mind. Because like I explained in the beginning, the subconscious, well, the super subconscious, that's the God in us. That is the part of us that believes the things that the conscious mind would say, oh, that's too good to be true. Now, your subconscious is your power. You act from that. So you got to feed it what you want it to do. So say, let's just go with the smoking example. So if you smoke cigarettes and you say, well, my manifestations really ain't coming. If you believe that, then try to quit. You may not quit right away, because I heard that cigarettes is the hardest thing to quit. That's what I hear from so many people. So many people who have given up all kinds of addictions, but them cigarettes got them, and I get it. You know, I'm sensitive to people's feelings. I understand what a struggle is, you know. I don't make excuses for struggles, though, but I understand them. So that's why when I give you advice, I advise you to do things in parts, baby steps. But just don't allow yourself to get to a point to where you are content and you just don't do it because you accept that it's difficult. Never accept it that it's difficult. Just take steps toward, eliminating your problem. But yeah, I have a suggestion. There's it's the YouTube channel is called Rising Higher Meditation. I'm going to put it down in the description section for you so you can look that up. I use it all the time. I love it. It's a lady. Her voice is so soothing. If you're a female, you might like listening to her because it's a female's voice. I mean, not that men can't listen to a female's voice, but it works, because I used to listen to some of the ones on there with male voices too. For me, I just like to hear the female voice. But I'm giving you this as a suggestion. I'm going to put it down there in the description section. But there's hundreds of them. Subconscious programming. Okay? They had one for addictions. I seen it. If you go to YouTube and you type in subconscious programmings for addictions, if you struggling with, excuse me, y'all. If you're struggling with any kind of addictions, cigarettes, drinking, whatever it is, any kind, try that. Okay? Or if it's food, whatever. It's just for things that you want to give up. It'll help you. See, because what's going to happen is when you put in your subconscious mind that, no, I don't do this, you won't do it. Okay? Your body will start to respond differently. Your body responds to whatever the subconscious wants. That's why you shouldn't speak negative. You shouldn't say, oh, it's going to be a bad day at work. Then what'll happen is you start get a headache and all that because you already set things in motion. It's physiological. It's scientific. So many scientists have done studies, physicists. They said that there's no scientific study that they can do where spirituality is not an element. So how about that, y'all? God is amazing. He gives us the ability to study things and we still don't understand. Some of the brightest physicists are still scratching their head. Because God is real. He's ours. He's our creator. He's our father or mother. Because God, we put a gender to God, but God is everything. Look, that's like with your kids. Okay? You got plans on how you're going to plan your Sunday, or you doing things and your child want to know this. They want to know that. They want to know this. And you like, look, just live. But then you love your child so much you say, here, I tell you what. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that and do this. And you give them tidbits. Well, that's how God does us. So that we're able to understand something. We still don't understand everything. But he allows us to get some understanding. Why? Because he wants us to have faith. And it's complicated because God is within you. We're pieces of God. That's why we're able to create. So, okay. So now that I explained that was the law of dissonance. Again, if you having trouble manifesting, do some self-discovery and figure out, are there behaviors on my behalf that cause me to not feel that freedom. You know, because that's probably it. You probably can't feel it. It's all about feeling. And you want to put the right feeling into the universe. And if you're having trouble with that, explore your behaviors. You know, ask yourself, am I doing things that I'm truly against? And if I am, I'm going to put a stop to it. I'm going to do mental reconditioning and affirmations. Affirmations is part of my mental reconditioning. You know, do rituals. Do as many things as you possibly can. There's so many resources to turn to for that. Okay, so let's move on. So we talked about dissonance. We talked about, okay, what we didn't talk about yet. Oh, wow. Okay, we didn't talk about the law of substitution. Now, this wasn't on the video that I just talked about. I said that I watched a video called the 50 Laws of Attraction, of the Universe. I got this from a different one. Another YouAreCreators video. And the law of substitution is when you're given your divine equivalent or better. So, you know, Abraham Hicks talks a lot about being a deliberate creator, right? Being specific about something that you want, which is great, okay? Because you should. You have to give. The universe is waiting for your signal. It wants you to create. So, are you specific about something? That's great. However, everything is not divinely yours. But we're all entitled to our share of abundance, okay? And because we don't have all the answers, we may not know what's divinely ours. We just know what we want. So all that means is God will give you either that thing, or if that's not for you, he's going to give you the exact equivalent or better. Because a lot of times, when you pray for something or you set an intention for something, you're going to always get something. Life usually always turns out better than you expect. Always, always. You just wait and see. Oh, just wait and see. Just wait and see. You know, you'll expect it, and when it comes, you'll be surprised, pleasantly surprised, and yet not because you expected it. It's weird. It's amazing. It's hard to explain. But all I can tell you is you'll get your divine equivalent. You know, and it makes sense, right? Because, for example, you might like somebody, right? And you say, oh, I'm really infatuated with this person. I want to get to know them so bad and this and that and that. But they might not be the one for you. This video that I watched called You Are the Creators, where I learned about the law of substitution, they gave the example of this lady. The person who was talking, he was some kind of healer. He didn't specifically say what his position was, but he helps people, okay? And he said this lady asked him about this guy she liked, and she wanted him to speak it out for her and all this and that. He called him man AB. That's just what he called him, AB, as far as giving a name. So she said, okay, so I hooked up with man AB, and he turned out not to be so wonderful after all. And he told her, well, yeah, that's because he's not divinely yours. So then she met another man, right? This one said all the things to her that she always imagined that her man would say. That's because he was for her. So you see, guys, manifest, but don't get discouraged if it's taking longer than you think, because everything happens in divine timing. Things are happening behind the scenes you can't see, and God is stirring up the things that are divinely yours. All right? Okay. It was another example I wanted to give, but I think you guys understand. Let's move on. Stay grounded. Oh, prepare as if you already have it. That's the best. Oh, I already talked about that, didn't I? Yeah, I did. You know what that means. Just prepare for the thing that you're manifesting. And don't be afraid to do it either. Don't be afraid. That's part of acting as if. And I catch myself being afraid too, okay? Because I remember earlier today, my son wanted some Netflix. You know, I said, no, we ain't getting no Netflix. We already got Wi-Fi. We already got cable. My husband all like, we get Netflix. I don't care what your mama say, you know. Okay, fine. And I had to think about that. Like, you know what? Get the Netflix. You know, get the Netflix. Because, like I said, us awakened people, we live for experiences and for moments. And, you know, if it makes them happy, what else am I going to spend my money on? We're plentiful in supply of food. What else is there? There's no need for us to worry about our bills. They're cared for. So why am I worried about them paying an extra $14 or however much Netflix costs? I don't know. The point is, that was me acting in lack. You know, I manifest money, but then I'm tripping about them wanting Netflix. Why? I can't do that. Because in order for me to manifest the money that I want, I have to act as if I already have it. It will come. So your belief is in your actions, your feelings and your actions. As long as your actions and your feelings and your thoughts and your words, all four things, are in perfect alignment with each other, your manifestation will come. So think about that. If you're worried about your manifestations not showing up, ask yourself, what actions am I taking? How do I feel most of the time? What are the things that I say? What was the fourth one? I'm so crazy, y'all. Okay, make sure all those things are in perfect alignment with each other. All right. Uh, so that's that one. And what else? I think that's about it, y'all. I wanted to also say the obvious: continue to feed your soul with the right idea. Your soul is your subconscious. Again, that's what the mental program is for. Don't give up on that. If you having trouble with your belief, there are YouTube videos that will help you feed your belief. Okay, increase it, make it stronger. I've seen a lot of different channels have the one they call the God frequency. Type that in 20 minutes prior to you falling asleep. I mean, you might not know when you're going to fall asleep, but when you're ready to go to bed, put them earphones on and listen to it, the God frequency. If you're struggling with your faith, it'll help. And as you going to sleep, envision yourself having strong faith. That's it. All you doing is telling your subconscious, look, here's where we're going. Okay? Type that address in that navigation. Because like I was telling you earlier, subconscious is your power. But the power has no direction. Give it the right direction. If you're struggling with your belief and your faith, look up on YouTube the God frequency. And watch how many channels come up. At least 4. And then listen to that when you go to sleep. Okay? And then let's see what else. Oh, ask yourself what you converse about. That's important too, y'all. Cause like I was saying, the things that you say when you have conversations with people, cause I find myself, I don't do it no more, but I used to. No, don't complain. Catch yourself complaining or talking about somebody. Like I was talking to a girl I knew from one of the shelters I was in, and I really didn't have much to say, cause you know I'm pretty quiet. I keep to myself. I don't have much to say unless I'm here. Unless I'm here, right, y'all? Okay. So if you meet me in person, I probably won't have much to say, but I just was trying to make conversation with her, and I found myself complaining about the bus driver. And then I was thinking to myself later, like, I gave her such the wrong impression of me because